Are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Like always, I'm Anthony Hartwig. Next to me is Ty Bartell, and boy, do we have a lot to catch up on because, as you know, there was no show yesterday. Ty, you coming in? There you go, bud. There was no show yesterday. We were busy covering baseball and softball all day. I was in Ravenna. You were at Scene Park. And we had a lot of results to talk about. Before we get to all that, though, we have a lot of Louisville baseball to get to because they are living high in the world. And we are going to be starting with head coach Brian Warner. We start at the top. And Coach, one, congratulations on the win last night in the district championship. And two, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And thanks for having us on.
I mean, Coach, let's first and foremost just talk about where the emotions are at right now, realizing that you guys have captured a district championship and you're on your way to regionals.
Yeah, I'm still riding that emotion. I'm sure all the guys are too. Special feeling, something that we dream of. We dream of in the off season, the preseason, but to actually get to experience it with these guys, it's awesome.
We were given a glimpse into your post-game message to the guys yesterday, and one of the things I loved about one of the things you said was you're all the guy. You know, even though there were a couple of guys that stepped up last night, everyone had a piece of that district championship. How much do the kids really buy in that no matter who steps up on any given night, that everyone on this team is that guy?
Yeah, that's my belief. I feel like the guy at the end of the bench needs to feel as important as the guys that are making all the headlines. My goal every year is to create a bond and a chemistry with the guys. And this year has been a special group. They work so hard on and off the field, behind the scenes, and they work for one another. And the bond and chemistry is what pulls us through tough games like yesterday.
I want to talk about some of the highlight plays we've been seeing from this social. I mean, let's go back to JT Povic on that game against Salem. One of the best diving plays we've seen too. Talk about that defense at short and those kind of plays, how, the frequency we've seen them this season and how they've propelled you all year long.
Oh, man, JT is an unbelievable athlete, and he is very locked in, loves playing the game of baseball, and loves his teammates. So he's out there just doing everything within his ability, which his ability is outstanding, to help us and help his teammates advance on. So that's why he lays out and gets after it like that every single play. It's just fun to watch. It's awesome.
It's got to take a lot of confidence for a kid to put his body on the line like that and dive for balls when, if he doesn't get them, then they get through. Talk about the confidence that you see in JT, not just in his defense, but also when he steps to the plate.
Yeah, I've been coaching JT ever since I think he was 8 years old, and to see him grow and mature into a young man, it's been really awesome and fun. He's always been very confident in his ability. As a youngster, he had a hard time with the game. Sometimes, baseball's a lot of failure, and he has matured through that, and he plays the game the right way now, and I'm very proud of him.
On top of all this, I mean, you guys get another big win for this season. I know in that post game interview you were talking with DJ too about just the special moment of being able to share it with your son. But I just wanted to take it a step further and just talk to me about this season experience too, and the whole ride, and being able to do it with not only your boys on the team too, but your boy too that you get to take home as well.
Yeah, it's basically been a fairy tale. One that you dream of. His senior year, all the time we put into the game, and working with him. Not only on the game, the physical parts of the game, but the mental part of the game, and that's really been awesome to watch. He developed physically in a man this year, turned from a teenager to a man physically, and all the other pieces and parts were there, and it's just been so awesome to watch come together, and I get the best view in the house for it.
We get the question for the comment. DJ Oakley wants to know, how cold was that Gatorade bath last night?
What Gator? I didn't even feel it, to be honest. The funny thing is, I didn't know that was coming. I was fired up, and I was ready to go out there and celebrate with my guys, and got through that. And then I started to realize, yeah, I got that, and got a nice little bump on my shoulder too. I think I got hit by the thing, but it was awesome. I didn't even feel it, to be honest.
How special was it to have this district championship be played in Louisville and be right in the backyard of so many crazy faithful fans?
Yeah, it's man. Yeah, the support we get is amazing. And when you looked out there last night and saw probably 400 or 500 people up and down the foul lines, it was fun. And being able to be in our own facility obviously helps. I mean, we practiced there. We played so many games there. I will say, I think it was back in 2019. We had a really good team that year. And, they're playing on that, in that bracket on our own field does come with some pressure too. Because the expectations are, hey, you're on your home field, you guys should win. And I had to make sure that these guys were locked in. I think us being a little bit of a higher seed coming into this tournament, we were always slated to be the underdog, but being on our field, I think definitely did help. It was an advantage.
Was it strange at all to be the home team but not the home team in some of these games?
Well, when I thought about it before each of those games, I said to the guys, this can be to our advantage, because if we get out and jump on them early, put some runs on them early, get an idea of what kind of zone the umpire is going to have for our pitcher coming in the bottom, we can make this to our advantage. And sure enough, both games we scored 2 in the first. It's all the scoring we did in both games, but the pitchers were outstanding, and it just all came together perfectly.
You get about a week off now before you have to start thinking about the next one. What are you going to use this time and rest for with the team?
Yeah, today we're resting. The kids have finals yesterday, today, some tomorrow as well. So we're resting, enjoying it. Tomorrow we'll get back to work. Saturday we'll have some work, try to get some guys that need to throw some bullpens, just stay sharp. We just got to stay sharp. And, I don't see us having any problem. We'll be able to rest physically as well. We'll still get in the weight room. We'll still work, but we'll be ready.
I know Anthony Warner gets a lot of attention in your pitching staff, but talk about the performance last night real quick before we let you go from Connor Morley, going the distance, 7 strikeouts, shutout, just keeping that offense down of Marlington.
Yeah. We really had a 2A, 2B, and 2C with Connor, and then, sophomore Zach Root and Cole Miller. So after we advanced past Salem, my coach and my pitching coach and I, we were talking, and I just when I looked at the most recent outing by Connor, which was down at New Philly, another team that advanced the districts, and he pitched really well that night down there. Connor, as a sophomore last year, won 7 games, including a tournament, and beat Marlington last year. So, when I looked at it, I wanted the guy with the experience, the guy who's been there, the guy who's beat that team. So when I told him on Tuesday, he was pretty excited about that. And, we got it. He got him the game plan, got the game plan to my catcher as well, and it was executed perfectly.
Coach, I know probably don't need it, and the Louisville community doesn't need it, but I'm going to give you the chance anyway to call out that community and let them know why they need to be at Thurman Munson Stadium next Thursday.
Oh man, hey, the support's been amazing. Leopard Nation, I know you guys are going to show up. You guys show up for every sport, for this community. You guys love your athletes, and this team has fully earned every bit of support that they can get. So let's pack up Thurman Munson Stadium. It's a short trip, 15 minutes down the road, and let's keep moving on.
All right, before I let you go, I know the players are getting a rest, but I do want to know how long it took you to stop celebrating last night and switch your mindset to the next game.
I switched my mindset. Obviously, I celebrated. I enjoyed it with my team, but my mindset started moving on pretty quickly. Obviously, today I'm focusing in on that and starting to do my research and get the information I need for that next team, University School.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the great win last night. It was great to be a part of it. Thanks for having us along the ride, and hopefully we can talk to you again real soon about some more wins.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, guys. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Coach Brian Warner of Louisville Baseball joining us live on the show to start off our kind of tour of Louisville Baseball. We had Connor Adelman on earlier in the season to kind of give us a taste, but today we are going all in because we're going to have Anthony Warner on here in any minute. And then later on today, we're going to have Carson Siegfried as well and JT Popik at 115 and 130, I think, right? 115, 130.
Defensive Player of the Year, JT Popik as well too. And I mean, deep diving into this Louisville team, and I mean district champion Louisville Leopards team as well too. So I mean, getting a little bit of the champions treatment, I guess, on Running Point today.
When you win championships, you get a little bit more extra limelight. That's kind of the rule that we have here.
Yeah.
We have some results to catch up on, Ty, because obviously we were not able to have a show yesterday. We were both out busy and on the road doing our work with covering games. But Tuesday night, we'll rewind the clocks back a little bit. Got some good baseball action in. And we also had Fitch win the regional semi to go to the regional finals.
Yeah, and I mean that was a big game too. It was the first time you and I got to be at a game together, and what a wild ride it was, sending Fitch to the regional final and one game away from representing this region and state in Division I. I don't know. I mean, just to talk about the game, man, I mean, it was what we expected. It was a pitcher's duel for a large portion of it, but honestly, it comes down to, especially in the tournament time when you're playing good teams, mistakes get magnified. Mm-hmm. And I think that was kind of the case in what we saw from Brecksville Broadview Heights.
When I looked at that, I think the most impressive part was Sidney Watt's ability to pitch to the Bees' best hitters. And when I'm saying best, I'm saying all state, SEC caliber, going to Kentucky, sister play to Alabama, hitting 750 this year. Impossible to get out.
Struck out the first two times. Like, I think, like, if
you didn't know that Sidney Watts was for real before Tuesday, she struck out Chelsea Mack twice, who is going to Kentucky. I mean, you go.
Batting average is over 700. She's getting on over 70% of the time using the bat, not just even walks, using the
72 bat. Hits coming into that game. 72.
Like, and I mean, you can understand why. She's as quick as a bullet. Like, she puts it on the ground and she could beat out pretty much anything on the infield. Like, your arm needs to be a literal cannon to get it to beat her out.
I think Fitch, to beat a program like that, that's established like that, they have the coach and Coach Mack, Coach Mack, who has been there, done that for a while. You know, obviously, Alexis Mack had went through that program, went to Alabama, graduated last season. And now her sister Chelsea is graduating from it. But that coach has been there, done that. That program is prolific. And to beat a program like that, to get to Hoover on Friday, one, it tells you how good the region is in softball Division I. But two, it also shows you how for real this Fitch team is. If you thought they were just kind of they won a district championship, but can they really match up with the best in the state? Well, yeah, they can, and they proved it.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you get the storyline game. The team that knocked them out of a district championship a year ago, the stakes are raised, and it's all on the line now, too, for a chance to go to state against the team that took you out just over a year ago with a great pitcher that you had on the in the circle last year too. They re-upped, Fitch did, and it looks like they're ready for the challenge. A lot of young girls on this team, but don't count them out too. They're showcasing that they're talented enough, and they've been talented enough to compete at this varsity level the entire season.
Also on Tuesday, the other district championships for tonight were set up, with Boardman getting the win 1-0 over Uniontown Lake. We saw Heartland see their season end with the loss 12-6 to Lake Center Christian. We saw JFK win 8-0 to expand their season, and we also saw Jackson Milton upset Middle Ridge to go to the district championship. So that'll happen on Tuesday. You can go to ysnlive.com/live. I mean, not /live, but just ysnlive.com to find the recaps on all those games. Most impressive, Boardman. I mean, Gavin Hyde, what a outing to shut down Uniontown Lake. Shut out 1-0, and they continue rolling.
Absolutely. And I mean, Gavin Hyde, Griffin Widrig, what else do you need? That's a 1-2 punch that can really, I feel like, carry the Spartans team even a couple steps further on this trip to Akron, and it might get them right into the parking lot of Canal Park. I mean, the way that they're rolling right now, doesn't matter what their seating is. They're showcasing time and time again. You've underestimated us one too many times. We're here to prove you wrong.
JFK continues to flex on their district with that 8-0 win. Can anything slow down the Eagles right now?
It's going to be tough, too. Division 4 right now, that's the Eagles are riding hot. They won the state championship last year, and they're going to be looking to do the same. Anthony, I think we got another Warner in the green room. It's Anthony Warner this time, though, of Leopards Baseball, joining us live here on Running Point for a player profile. Anthony, how we doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. You're doing a lot better though. I assume after last night. Where are the emotional levels at for you right now?
It was crazy. You know, going into the season, I think we had high expectations for our team, and as the season went on, we faced some adversity. We got through it. We made it to this point. We're on a hot streak, and running that dog pile was kind of surreal. Didn't really hit me until afterwards, and just soaked it all in on the field. Just a very special night for sure.
You've had a lot of success on the mound this season. You got the team to this point with your pitching in the semifinals. I think it's been a while since you've given up an earned run too. I mean, what's been working so well for you on the mound this season?
Just the catcher, my catcher Walker Candle. I've pitched him since freshman year. He catches me all winter, and I don't think people realize how big of an effect he has. So he'll go out there. He's confident in me. I'm confident in him. And he'll just call my fastballs and slider changeup combo. He knows them as well as I do, and he knows that I can do it. So he goes out there, reads the batter. It's basically all just the mindset. You know, we go out there and throw what I know I can throw, and it just happens to work for us.
Quick follow-up to that real quick, because you talk about the relationship with your catcher. How much trust is there? I mean, trust has to be so important in that dynamic, trusting that he's reading the hitters and he's calling the right pitch.
Yeah, another big part of it is he's such a wall back there that I know if a clutch time situation, you know, guy on second or third, I can throw a slider in the dirt, and I have confidence in him blocking it. I don't think he's given up a pass ball in probably half the season. So just really good knowing that I can throw what I want to throw, and he'll back me up.
Speaking of the season, I know we talked about last night, but I mean, talk about this season as a whole and this experience from your perspective. Put it into words.
I honestly can't. It's been amazing. Obviously, every game I go out there, I want it to be my best game. And going into it with my dad, I know you want to take it one game at a time. You don't want to look ahead and be like, wow, this could be the last game he ever coached me. So we go out there, let's try to get the win every time. We came into the season looking for success. I didn't know it would be at this climax, but it's amazing for sure.
It has to be hard in tournaments to kind of put away that feeling of this could be my last game. How are you able to do that and just focus on the here and now and not worry about whether or not it's going to be your last game with Louisville?
Especially a big game like Salem, like we just had. When I get out on the mound, the adrenaline just takes over, and I'm kind of just like beeline focus on getting that batter out, taking it a pitch at a time. And another big part of it is my team supporting me. They're always there for me. I know I'm always comfortable. I never really have that doubt in my mind when I'm out there on the field.
How impactful is it to have your father as a coach?
It is pretty amazing because, you know, he's gotten me since my first game when I was little, T-ball, throwing ground balls in the dirt up until now. I always know that he's counting on me. I know I can count on him. and I know we kind of just work together. Just happens.
I know you get a lot of attention on this pitching staff because of the success you've had, but man, it's a staff. You guys have a lot of
Yes.
good arms on that in that bullpen. Talk about the dynamic with the pitcher room and how much you have kind of related to these guys and the young guns that have been able to come up, the sophomores like Connor last night, and how much it's been a blessing to kind of help them grow and kind of take them under your wing.
Yeah, I love it. We came into the season early November, all the way back last year. We started off season, started getting ready, and just since then, I've kind of just been. I give tips, mentor them, kind of tell them what I feel and what I know they can do. And as you just grow as a team and as a bullpen, you kind of just flow. Everybody just gets their own thing. Them, especially with Walker too. Again, back to the catcher, he knows the arms all the way 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and he knows what they can do. And when they come out there and get their confidence rolling, I think we'll be a pretty scary team.
Being that there is so much young talent on this team, is there any players that you've kind of tried to take under your wing and kind of guide them along, and you're going to be looking forward to seeing them be successful in the next coming years?
Yeah, obviously Morley for next year coming back his senior year is huge. Charlie Roberts in center, I know he'll stick with it. He'll stick with the grind. And then our sophomore class right now, I cannot wait for them to be seniors because Cole Miller and Zach Root are two amazing arms as sophomores. So if they build up, just trust the process till they're seniors, they'll be amazing. And our backup shortstop, Andrew Corona, he's gotten some good experience this year, and he's a fighter. So I'm really excited for him when he's a senior too.
The next interview we're going to have after you later on the show is JT Popick, and I got to ask about that catch he made from your perspective against the Salem and what it's like to have a defender like that right behind you at shortstop.
But that is huge because that game, I believe Darius Beck got hit. He got on, and then when Williams cranked that, I was like, shoot, here we go. Turn around. He just makes that insane play, probably the best play I've seen on a field while I'm playing. And if you're pitching in front of a defense that you can trust and has that fight for you when they're playing selfless, not for themselves and for the team, it just builds your confidence and makes you a better player yourself.
When that ball was hit and 2 runs come home last night, what was going through your mind when you guys grabbed the early lead?
I honestly don't know what I was thinking, but I know what I was doing. I was coming out of the dugout screaming at Sig because that was the most adrenaline I think I've ever had in a baseball game. To hop out and get those early runs and just pound it on a team early and come out there with the whole team hyped up. The city of Louisville, we were packed last night. They got out for Sig. It was a special moment for sure. I'll remember that for a while.
You know, one of the things that we were able to hear Coach say last night in his kind of post-game meeting with you guys was that you're all that guy. You're all contributing to the win, even though, you know, every day it might be someone else that steps up. How much is this team really bought into that? Talk about buying into the fact that everyone on this team contributes and everyone feels like they contributes and everyone knows that they're that guy any given night.
Yeah, if you come to a game and you listen to our dugout, you know, the guy at the end, guy at the very end, everybody in the middle, we're so loud. We're always with each other. And I think a lot of people say like your team is like a family, but this team is like, it's so special. The bond, I actually feel like I'm with my second family because everybody's so close. And I think a big part of this was going down to Tennessee early in the season, first week, and just living with each other for a week, got everybody really comfortable with each other. And I think everybody knows that if we come in, everybody, same role every game, we come out there, do what we always do, that we can be successful.
Did you get a moment to appreciate the 400 to 500 Louisville faithful that were lining the foul lines for you last night?
Yes, because we came out, I think it was one of the mid-innings, and Morley got in a jam and then struck out the next 2. And I looked around, the crowd erupted. I went out there, I got him hyped up, and I looked down, fence line all the way back to the cement steps there. It was packed. It's a really special environment. I like that the city's always behind us, and it's really special having it at our field.
We asked Coach this. Was it weird to be the visiting team in your home stadium? Did that kind of feel weird for you?
Yeah, at the beginning it was, especially at Salem, when I had to go out there bottom 7th at our field and put away a team. But if you come out there and put the runs early and get the pitchers a good cushion, I think it's also a positive to be the away team in that situation.
You get a little bit of rest now, and you know you're probably going to be going next week at some point. What's going through your mind as you gear up for regionals?
I'm honestly just going to go into this looking at it as another game because that's what's worked for me all year. I'm not going to try to hype it up too much, never get too high, never get too low. go out there and just do what I always do what I know I can do, and pitch, let him hit the ball, let my defense make plays, and just try to keep rolling.
Take us through the Gatorade bath and what it was like to give Coach that bath, and who kind of orchestrated it, and who was the people that had to make it happen.
Yeah, so we go out there. Ashton Marshall comes out and do his big flip, and I saw Connor Adelman and Charlie Roberts just go over and ask the trainer for where that was, and then we were all huddled up, and I heard everybody going like, uh-oh, and I turned around and they were just running up, like splash him as he's like trucking into us, because it's kind of just a bang play. It was sweet for sure, because he was soaked, everybody was soaked. We're just almost like a standing dog pile in the outfield for the win. It was so fun. Great moment.
Anthony mentioned Gatorade too, and I got to ask too, because it's been a running theme too with the baseball and softball players this year. Mm-hmm. What is the Gatorade sunflower seed or sports drinks dugout snack combination for Anthony Warren?
Weird that you asked that, because ever since my very first start junior year last year, my superstition, I always have to have a Pedialyte. I only drink Pedialyte and water, and I don't eat seeds ever when I'm pitching. It's so I just Pedialyte and water. That's all I do.
If Gatorade came to you and said, we're going to make a flavor for you, a Anthony Warner flavor, what do you think the flavor would be? What kind of flavor would it taste like? And if you could name it, what would you want to name it?
Probably something weird like Tropical Tango. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm a big tropical guy. I like pineapples, mangoes, all that stuff. Probably something like that. Tropical for sure.
We were told that it's finals week for you guys as well, so I got to ask, like, what's the one final that you're dreading the most?
Well, that was for underclassmen. We we got out of school last week, 2 weeks ago. But the worst final that I had to take by far was my pre-calculus one. That class was rough all year, and Connor Adelman actually sat next to me, and we just kind of grinded through it and just took the final. Said it is what it is. We'll finish this year. And we ended up doing pretty well on it, but that was for sure the worst one of my high school career.
You look at your teammate Connor's GPA; it's sitting really high. I mean, what kind of inspiration is that to look next to him and see Connor putting in his work, not just in the field but in the classroom as well?
Yeah, it keeps you going. You stay competitive in every aspect of life, and when he's out there doing that, it makes you want to do that too, because he has almost everything on a resume in high school you can check off. He's done. So just keeps you going, makes you want to do more.
Is there something that you kind of wanted to do in high school that you unfortunately didn't get the chance to do?
I did. I played golf for 3 years. That was really fun. I honestly think, I know I did play it, but I think if I took that a little more seriously, it would have been more fun to be successful in it. But probably sticking with golf. I know I played baseball too, but if I grinded through golf as I did baseball, I think I could be successful in both. But it was a fun 3 years.
What's one sport that you didn't play in high school that if you could play any sport, you think, man, I really want to give that a try?
I always thought that I would have a lot of fun if I played tennis. I don't know. My sister played tennis, so I'd always go out there with her and my dad and just play with them. And I always thought I'd be a pretty good tennis player, but it's same season as baseball, so I never got into it.
I know this is going to be a hard question because you guys are such a good team and you're all such good teammates. But if you had to pick like one guy that just exuded that teammate attitude and had that selfless attitude on your roster, who would win like the best teammate award as far as that goes?
That Caleb Harsh. Every game he comes in, he's crazy from the start. We're huddled up behind the dugout, not even in our dugout, and he's going crazy, screaming, getting us hyped up. And he's the number one dugout talker by far. He's in there loving everybody. He gets everybody up. Any small play happens, he hypes it up. So I just love being in there with him, brings the energy, and it's fun to be around.
Who's got the most swag on the team?
I would have to give that a tie between Connor Adelman and JT Popick.
I'm going to give you a chance to kind of poke some fun at somebody who thinks they have swag, but he doesn't at all.
Who thinks they do? I've got to give this to Connor Morley. I hate to do it, but he's out there. He's always talking about he's ripped up and stuff, but I have to give it to Connor because he thinks he does, but it's not too much.
What's the pregame playlist for Louisville baseball sound like?
Pregame playlist, we always have country on. I don't know what songs. It's just same songs every time, but we always have country shuffling. My favorite song on there is probably Florida Georgia Line and Morgan Wallen, somewhere on there. So it's always country.
What's your walk-up song?
My walk-up song, even though I didn't get too many hits because I turned into a PO, but it was "Drowning" by A Boogie. Not sure if you guys know that.
All right, maybe not a walk up. If you could have a walkout song, would it be the
Oh,
same
my
like
walkout
walking
song.
out of the bullpen?
Yeah, we do have a walkout song. Our first inning song for everybody is "Renegade" by Styx because Coach Adams loved that. But my second inning walkout song is "Iron Man" by Black Sabbath.
There you go. Perfect segue. Who's your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? Probably Spider-Man. Probably Spider-Man. I don't know why. I just love Spider-Man. Love Spider-Man movies.
Who's your real life hero?
Real life hero. Honestly, probably my grandma, because she, no matter what happens, she always has a smiling face, always has good attitude and positive aspect on life.
And one question from me, real quick. I gotta ask: is it Christmas every day in the Warner household?
No.
Yeah, it looks like a Christmas tree behind you. That's why we asked.
Oh no. That's just all year round. But yeah, all year round. Gotta keep some spirit throughout the house. But
For sure.
What's the best Christmas gift you've ever received since we're on Christmas?
This is a tough one. Listen, best Christmas gift. Probably, honestly, I don't know why I think of this, but when I was younger, probably just my first like big baseball glove. This is just a weird memory I have, but that probably got me into a lot of baseball and the gloves and stuff.
Do you have a special relationship with your glove?
Yes. I hate when people touch it. I hate when people put their hand in it. It's foreign to me. I don't put it in my bag ever. It's always in my room. I never leave it in my car. So, yeah, for sure, that's a special part of my game.
Are you someone that names their gloves?
No, I never named it. Never named it, but
if you had to, what would be like the glove name? If I said, yeah, you gotta name your glove.
Probably something like Betsy. Just reliable old Betsy, something like that.
Has it
I
been
love it. All reliable.
Has it been the same glove for a while? Like, how old is the glove you're currently using?
So I had a really nice one freshman year, and I happened to leave it at a baseball facility. So this one I've had since sophomore year. Used it since sophomore year. So all my games, obviously.
What was your dream job growing up? Like the one thing you wanted to be? If we asked like 6-year-old Anthony, what he wanted to be when he grew up?
6-year-old Anthony definitely wanted to be a shortstop for the Indians, 100%.
That's still a possibility. Except they'd be the Guardians, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's your favorite professional athlete?
Favorite professional. I like Marcus Stroman. You know, pitcher wise, I think he's a pitcher that goes out there and just has swag to his game. He's pretty good, so I like watching him.
All right, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you.
Yes, Louisville. Start with my teammates. We'll start at the bottom. Teammates, they're always there for me. Thank you guys. Couldn't do what I'm doing without your support. Coaches, always guiding me and mentoring me. Obviously, my dad, been there from the beginning, so it's a big season to have you. And then parents, my mom, she's huge for me. Always gets me stuff. Anytime I forget something, she's always there. And then Louisville, thank you guys for always supporting. Obviously, this district was huge. Having you guys support, I think it gave us a few runs. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to your next game. We wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to also talking to you again real soon.
Yep, thank you guys for having me.
All right, that was Anthony Warner from Louisville Baseball, fresh off their district championship. And we have a surprise guest, Ty, one that was able to confirm a little bit right before the show, and it's going to be Lauren Gossett from West Branch Track. We're going to bring her on now. She is first team all EBC in track as well. Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Lauren, where you like to start with all these student athletes too. I just like to talk about the season experience now that we kind of are past the COVID years. We're getting back to senses of normality. I just like to know the season perspective from your perspective.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's really good to get back into it and with no issues or concerns with our season in general. It's nice to get back to a routine.
When you think about your teammates in this track team that you're on, such a successful year for you guys, how's it like to kind of build relationships with these girls and to kind of egg each other on and try to make each other the best they can be?
We have such a close bond with each other. We've known each other since elementary, we have a great connection. So when we see each other having improvements or just moving up overall, it's a great thing to see and just experience, and you can help push each other to be the best athlete you can be.
What's one of the goofiest things that one of your teammates has done this season that really got you cracking up?
Oh my. Sophia Gregory, she's something. She's actually yesterday at practice we were practicing handoffs, and she didn't grab the baton fully and kind of just threw it on the ground. So that was kind of funny.
Obviously, to be as successful as you are, there's got to be a work ethic. There's got to be a drive for it. Where does the drive to kind of push yourself and the drive to succeed at this sport come from for you? And when did it kind of start?
Definitely my dad. He's always been involved in my athletic ability and just making sure I'm healthy and just the best athlete I can be. And also Coach Velasca, that he makes sure that we are the best we can be for him, for each other. And it's just a good support system all around.
Overall this season, what are some of this season and I guess your entire career with track, what are some of the highlights that you remember? A moment, maybe a meet? What are some of the highlights throughout your career that you always keep in the memory bank?
Definitely last year at state when we had our PR overall 144.75 for the 4x2. That was the highlight of our year. It's what we've been working for our whole season, and now we're just trying to beat that this year for upcoming meets.
Yeah, you're a part of so many successful relays on this team. Give us an insight on the dynamic with a relay team and how you have to be so in sync with each other and how you kind of build that connection with each other.
We've been friends forever, so we know how each other act and how we are just gonna perform, and we're used to that. So that's really helpful with handing the baton off and receiving it. You're just really comfortable with the person.
Looking at it too, you start different spots too in the relays depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mentality change if you're, say, the lead off one or the one with the baton first, as opposed to maybe if you're second, third, fourth in the rotation? How does that mentality change for you if you get moved?
Definitely has a big impact on how I want my race to go. Usually for the 4x1 and the 4x2, I'm first leg. So I know I have to give my team that kickstart and just do the best I can. And in the 4x4, sometimes I'm third leg or first leg, depending on whether Anna runs or not. So first leg, I know I really have to push myself. Third leg as well, but I know Sophia can, she's always our cushion if anything goes wrong. So that's helpful.
We know all too well that this West Branch community is so supportive of their athletes. They travel so well. What's it like to be a part of this community and feel their support behind you guys?
It's awesome. It's really supportive, and it makes us feel like we are at home, even when we're away anywhere. We always have them behind our back supporting us and just making sure we feel comfortable and knowing that they support us no matter what.
So many great minds in the West Branch community, so many great coaches as well. What's some of the best advice you've ever received from a coach, whether it be on the topic of track or life in general?
I'd say from Velasca, definitely. He's very wise with everything he knows. He does everything for us. Definitely that there's always going to be someone faster, better, stronger than you. You just have to put in the work, put in your effort if you want to see improvement and just better performance overall.
What is your proudest achievement so far with West Branch Track and your career that you've had?
I'd say just our improvement over since the past year. It's since state last year we got our state time at districts, I believe, and we're hoping to reach that again in this next coming meet today, actually.
And talking about, I mean, just your experience with this, what were some role models you had on this track team that if you wanted some advice or if you had to look for some advice from someone, who are you usually asking for?
I'd say probably Anna Lippiett, or last year my sister, Alexa Gossett. They're
It
both.
is. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Keep going.
Kennedy just came in here. They're both really experienced in what they do, so that's just helpful if you need anything from them.
It is meet day, as you said. You got a big meet tonight. Take us through a meet day routine and what kind of gets you mentally ready to be in that zone.
The pre-meet snacks that Flaska brings every meet. We walk in the locker room. There's a ton of food on the table, and he just says, "Go at it." And definitely on our way there, karaoke songs in the van or the bus, either one. That always gets us hyped up for the meet.
You left the question on the table, and I have to ask it then. So if there's just a snack buffet, which the snack you're grabbing, and if it's karaoke night, what's the song you're suggesting?
Oh, geez. That's a tough one. Snack-wise, definitely fruit snacks. Welch's fruit snacks or granola bars. As for karaoke songs, there's a lot. There's quite a lot. We like Baby's Got Back. That's our go-to.
If you had to pick one teammate that would win karaoke night, who's like the best karaoke singer? Who would you have to send in for you?
That would have to be Sophia, for sure, and Kennedy a little bit.
Where do you rank as far as karaoke talent? Where would you put yourself?
Probably third after them.
Right there, third. I like it. What about your personal playlist? What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Oh, geez. I'm a mix of everything, honestly. Pop, country, rap, whatever. It's a combination.
Is there any song on your playlist that's kind of like that guilty pleasure song that you're kind of embarrassed is on there, but it's still there?
Not really. All the songs we listen to, it's kind of, we all like, I guess. We just know the song we're going to play and how we're going to feel about it.
All right, you brought up the pregame snacks and the Welch's fruit snacks. What about after a meet? You've exhumed all your energy. What's a good post-meet meal?
Oh, geez. Just about anything, honestly. Fries. Fries are good after a meet.
All right, you open the door. Who has the best fries in the fast food industry?
Oh, geez. Maybe McDonald's. I don't know.
That's one of like 5 acceptable answers. I'll allow it as one of the judges here.
There's a lot of possibilities for that.
There aren't too many bad ones out there. Let's just be real with that. What is one vacation spot that you wish you could go to?
Probably Mexico. That sounds nice.
What's your favorite vacation spot that you have been to?
North Carolina, Outer Banks.
You've broadened up. You have a very competitive family. Who wins in family game night?
Oh boy, probably my brother Carson. Honestly, he's very competitive when it comes to beating his little sisters.
What is the family game that you guys play the most?
Either Uno or Euchre, which I am terrible at, actually. So I need to start learning how to play that so I can play with my family.
You got to be relentless with that draw 4 on Uno, though.
Yeah.
No mercy.
They just stack up.
What is one thing that you like to do outside of track that kind of your hobbies, per se?
When it's warm like this, I like to go swimming a lot at my aunts or my friends in general, or just hanging out with friends in general. That's always nice. Get
Are
to
you
mind off of things.
are you a movie person or a book person?
Movies for sure.
What was the last movie that you went to see in theaters?
In theaters, Spider-Man, the new one.
What was the last show that you binge watched on a streaming service?
Oh jeez. I think it's called Manifest. It's an airplane movie or something like that.
All right. And last but not least, I want to give you the time to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you.
I'd like to thank my family, first of all, and Coach Velasca, definitely, for pushing us to be the best athletes we can be. My teammates, definitely, for pushing me and pushing each other so we can get the best results possible. And just our community overall. They're great supporters. They always have our back, always make us feel supported, and yeah.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck tonight in your next meet in regionals. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope that we can talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
That was Lauren Gossett from West Branch Track, a surprise guest for today. She was able to confirm not too long ago about, right as the show was coming on, she's like, hey, I can do 12:30. And I was like, awesome, let's get you on. So just an example of you never know who you're going to get on Running Point.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had a slew of interviews too. We still have some more. We had one that we did with Ayla Ray from Fitch Softball literally right before the show too. So we got a little bit of Fitch Softball in, and then we still have the Defensive Player of the Year from Louisville, JT Popick, coming on, and District Champion Louisville, and the man who hit the 2-run blast that helped secure Louisville's district championship, Carson Siegfried, on the show as well. So we're still diving into to leopards. So I guess you could say they spotted us some leopards today.
That joke never gets old.
It never gets
old.
I love it.
Ty always brings it out, and he's always the one that use it.
I love it. I love that. But no, it's been a great start to the show too. We got into track a little bit, got into baseball. We'll get into softball a bit as well. So
track regionals for West Branch are tonight, and Lauren Gossett, along with Claire Brunner, who we had on the show a couple days ago, and Sophie Gregory, and a lot of the girls that we know very well from other sports are running in tonight's meet. So we want to wish West Branch and all of our track athletes that are running tonight the best of luck in regionals. We try to highlight you guys as much as you can. That's something that we take pride in, not just focusing on the popular sports. And I use air quotes very sarcastically because we know that every athlete puts in the same amount of work, same amount of time that everyone else does, even if they're not getting the media attention per se, or people aren't asking them for interviews. We know here at Running Point and at Ysn that they deserve just as much attention and limelight as everyone else. So just like with winter and fall, we're going to be shining as much light on track as we possibly can. So we've had a lot of track runners on today. And not today, but this week, I should say. And we wish them the best of luck in regionals tonight. And obviously last night there were some regionals as well.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had a lot of results coming in, but a lot of local athletes securing their ticket to the next level. So it's going to be a great one for this show too. And I mean, like we said too, we have results that we have to still talk about. We still got a couple more interviews. JT Popick that's coming on from Louisville. We got Carson Siegfried as well, and then we have a pre-recorded one with Ayla Ray. So second hour of the show still seems to be packed. It looks like.
Let's take a break. Our first break of the day. Pay some bills. We'll be back with all that and more on Running Point. Brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. We still have a lot to get to on this show, Ty. We have a interview with Ayla Ray that we're going to put on that we did like right before the show, fresh off the oven. We got it done like at 11:50. We were like, okay, let's just jump right back to the Running Point link. We also have JT Popik on the air at 1:15, and then Carson Siegfried, the guy that hit the 2-run shot, that moonshot. You could say he wore a cape a little bit. The cape fitting pretty well for Carson. He'll be on the show at 1:30 right after JT. So it's going to be a very fun-filled show. It's in the promotion. If you're a Louisville baseball fan, we think you're going to like this show a lot. We already had Brian Warner and Anthony Warner on earlier. We want to also thank Lauren Gossett for taking her time to pop on the show, who will be competing in the regional track meet tonight for West Branch. A lot of really good relays that she's a part of, the 4x3, the 4x4, with Sophie Gregory and a lot of other runners that make those relays very, very strong. And they will be looking to get to state.
Only a sophomore too is Gossett too. So I mean, future is super bright for her too. And I mean, already being in state at freshman year, getting this experience sophomore year, I mean, it's gonna pay dividends for her later on.
Gossett's a sophomore, Gregory's a sophomore. You know,
the sophomore class at West Branch is dangerous.
They were in state last year, so they're hoping to get back to state again. Like they said, in districts they got their state time, so they've already matched the time that they ran in state last year. So they're on the uptrend, and we hope that continues tonight for them.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Keep it going, West Branch.
What we're going to do while we have the time, we're going to play Ayla Ray's interview for you. And when it should line us up right when we're done with that to get ready for JT after her. So we're going to play Ayla Ray's interview now. And we hope you enjoyed it. It was a great conversation we had with her this morning. And Fitch getting ready for the regional final tomorrow night against Walsh Jesuit at YSU Softball Complex, 5 o'clock first pitch. So here's Ayla Ray. And one of the superstars of that Fitch team, one of the mini stars, shining bright. Anthony Hartwig, Ty Bartell here with the Fitch softball player profile. We are joined by Ayla Ray. Ayla, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Ayla, I mean, adding to the memorable season on Wednesday, too, you guys get another victory. So I'm sure there's a lot of high points to this season. And what I usually like to do with our student athletes is usually just ask them about the season experience from their perspective. So go over some of the high points, some of the fun times you've had this season, and what is the best part of the season so far?
This season has just been great. The chemistry our team has is just so good, and all of our hard work that we've been working on has paid off, and the wins are coming out of it. So.
And you talk about the hard work that you guys have put in. Obviously, that comes with the goals that you guys set at the start of the season. What were some of those team goals you set? And now that we're venturing towards the end, how do you think the team really effectively handled those goals and achieved the goals that you set at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, we had a team goal of winning the AAC again, and then we had a team goal of getting back to where we left off last year, which we also got to that goal and even farther. So the hard work has just been great, pushing us forward.
I want to go back to this game Wednesday. Ant and I got to be on the call, and you made a couple of some highlight reel plays defensively at short. How much pride do you take in your defense at that position, and how much work goes into you being able to make those kind of plays?
I work very hard to play the position that I play. I always want to have my pitcher's back, so when a ball gets hit in the play, I know I have to make the play.
A couple of times this season, you've made throws from deep in the 5-6 hole across the diamond. That those take a lot of confidence to make. How much confidence do you have in your defense and knowing that you can make that throw in a big situation?
Yeah, I know I have Maddie Taylor. If my throw isn't on point, I know I have Maddie Taylor at first that's going to be there to help me out.
I mean, you look at the team you were able to be a part of last year too, and you got some playing time as a freshman last year with the names that were on it. What are some of the biggest things you've learned transitioning from last year with that senior pitcher and Lydia Spalding there to now with the freshman Sydney Watts?
Just always have faith in your pitcher. Know that they can do their job, and if they make a little mistake or anything, that you need to have their back.
What are some of the biggest things that you've learned about yourself through the course of this year now that you've become a mainstay and a pin in this varsity lineup?
I've learned that I need to, I'm better at hitting the pitches. Like, I know how to hit every pitch now, and no pitcher can, stop me from hitting the ball. And I know that, my defense has my back.
It's only like a handful of strikeouts I think that you have even on this season. You protect the plate so extraordinarily well. What kind of work goes into your batting, and how much time do you spend in outside of games working on your at bat, working on your swing, and being able to really protect the plate as well as you do?
Yeah, it's every day, either at practice, hitting into a net, or hitting lessons with my hitting coach. Just always knowing I have to have the perfect swing to make it happen.
You have something that a lot of young softball players don't, which is a fantastic two-strike approach. You take your swings with one strike and no strikes, but then you kind of shorten up your swing with two. When did you kind of figure that out? Figure out that you had to have a good two-strike approach, and when did it kind of lock in? To Ty's credit, he said you don't have a lot of strikeouts. That's one of the big reasons why.
Yeah, I just know when I have two strikes on me that I know I have to try to at least put it in play, because I know if I put it in play, then I have a chance of getting on and helping my team out. So I just know I have to see the ball in and just go with it.
I want you to take me inside this locker room ahead of this game coming up on Friday. You got to be a part of this team last year in that district defeat to North Canton Hoover. And I think I would be remiss to say that this is the team. This North Canton Hoover team it feels like the one that everyone on that team wanted, and they wanted to see at the other end of this. What is the motivation going into this regional final game and knowing that you guys are one win away from going to state?
Yeah, we're pumped. We're ready. We want to get our revenge on Hoover from last year, so we're all excited. We're going to put in the work, and we're going to hope to come out on top.
We have to ask you about Steve Ward, our YSN Coach of the Year, and what it's like being under him and what kind of things he's taught you, not just as a softball player, but outside of softball as well.
Coach Ward has been amazing. He's so positive, and he's always checking in on you. And I've just learned to always stay positive with everything you do and be a better person than player.
I know the paddles have been a mainstay too, but for anyone that doesn't know, you got to tell me the story of these ducks that I keep seeing in the dugout too. What are the story of these ducks that are all dressed up?
So we went in Myrtle. We went out to Dave & Buster's, and there was a duck claw machine, and all of our seniors were huddled around the duck machine, getting ducks the whole entire time we were at Dave & Buster's. And so now every time, Caitlin and Coach Ward bring their ducks every time to the games, and we all have a couple of ducks from that claw machine in Myrtle.
I think the important question is, are you guys starting to name the ducks? Does every duck have its own little name?
No, I don't think the ducks have a name. I just know Caitlin loves making her duck make her fast.
What is do you have a duck? And if so, what is your duck all dressed up in?
I did bring one of my ducks from the game. It was the Flash. It's dressed up as a Flash.
Right.
That
I've seen the Flash duck too. It's on point. It's perfect.
When you look at some of the things that this team is about and the personality of this team off the field, talk about what it's like to kind of grow your relationships with these girls and to build the team chemistry and how strong you think the chemistry is on this team.
Yeah, our team, we're just all so positive and we love to have fun with each other. We like to mess around every once in a while, but we put in the work and we just love to hang out with each other.
Anthony brought up the personalities, and there's so many great personalities on this team, so many unique personalities as well. What's one of the goofiest things that your teammates have done? You could shout them out, kind of throw them under the bus. What's one of the goofiest things that they've done this year that's really gotten you cracked up?
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably, that's a hard one. I don't know. So everyone's just so crazy. We actually have Sydney. Sydney's downstairs, actually. And before this interview, we have our mascot costume. And Sydney's hopping in the mascot costume, getting all dressed up. And she just looks crazy in it.
That's awesome. What about you? What's the craziest thing you've ever done on the softball field with this team? I mean, I'm sure you have your silly moments too.
Silly? Probably in the dugouts, like just singing random songs, yelling random stuff. We like to jump off the wall of the dugout, and pretend we're doing flips.
She helps pump up this team a lot, Ann, too. I mean, it's her walk-up song that really just starts the tempo for this team and really helps them get going too. And you talk about it, and you talk about this personality of this team and all the seniors, but on this team too, there's great senior leadership, but there's a lot of young players. You being one of the underclassmen on this team, what can you say from the talent level you've seen from younger girls in the area, and how big of a sport softball has become over the years?
Yeah, softball has just it keeps improving every time. Like, our underclassmen that we are having come up this year have been so amazing, and it's just going to continue because we have girls that are putting in such hard work and are ready to come up and face the high level quality of softball.
And we learned really quick how big the softball community is. You're able to build relationships outside of your high school team in summer. I want to know, who's the best friend that you have in the softball world that doesn't wear a Fitch uniform?
My friend Callie Legsden, she goes to Beaver Falls in Pennsylvania, and I played with her the last 2 years, and she's amazing. I just love her. She's so funny, goofy, and I just love hanging out with her.
Your career has been comprised of plenty of hits, whether that be with the summer ball with her or with Fitch too already. But in that, there's been a lot of highlights, I'm sure, too, in those games. What are some of the best games you remember being a part of, or best moments in a softball game that you remember? Shout out some of your personal memories and highlights.
So my pulling inside the park home run to get us on the board against Poland. I hit a grand slam, and then after I hit my grand slam, I hit another home run in the same game. So that was pretty cool.
I was told, or are you done? I'm sorry, if you still have more.
You're good. I'm good.
I was told after the game on Tuesday that you hit a home run off of Sydney Watson practice. Is this true? Can we confirm this?
Yes, I did hit inside the park home run, but still counts.
Still counts.
Is there a little bit of jest going on between you and Sid now, as you could say I'm one of the only ones in the area that could time you up?
Yeah, I mean, she might have to watch her back.
How much does going up against, not real talk, going up against her in live and practice help you face every pitcher that you have in your regular season schedule?
Yeah, it helps a lot because Sydney has the speed, she has the movement, she has the location, so it's like she's a really hard pitcher to hit, and the fact that I was able to hit her is just knows that I've been working hard.
You guys are looking to get a lot of support Friday, and I mean, heck, it's right down the street from you too at YSU. I want to also give you that kind of opportunity to call out any of the Austintown community that's on the fence about going to this game, about why you need them in YSU Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. We're going to have great competition. We're going to come out ready to play, and the support is just going to be very much needed. So please come out.
Through this interview, we've gotten to know you a little bit off the field. We've asked some random questions, but I do want to hit you with some rapid fire ones to kind of get to know you a little bit more off the field. Who's your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? Probably Superman.
All right, that goes into the next one. Who's your real life hero?
Real life hero? Probably my dad. He's just pushed me so much to get me to where I am right now.
Who's your favorite professional athlete?
Jason Tatum from the Celtics.
All right. What sport do you kind of take the most from as far as life lessons?
Definitely softball with Coach Board.
What is your favorite thing to do outside of sports?
Probably just hanging out with my friends outside the sports.
What's the go-to hangout for Fitch softball after a game?
Go-to hangout? Probably Allison Foley's house.
What's your guilty pleasure dessert?
Ooh. Probably brownies.
Now, are we talking like the chocolate chip filled brownies, normal brownies, ice brownies? We got to be a little bit specific here.
My mom makes brownies and she puts Oreos inside, so those are really good.
Nuts.
I need to get some Tatum Ray Oreo.
Yeah, like let's go.
I'll have to bring them Friday.
Yeah, you bring them Friday. Ty will have them, and Ysn loves bribery with food. That's one of the things that gets you going. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to kind of thank your support system, the people that are always there for you throughout the years.
I like to thank my parents for pushing me and taking me to where I am. I like to thank my friends for always supporting me, my sisters for always coming to my games, and my grandpa for coming out to all my games when he can.
Ayla, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time. We wish you the best of luck in your regional final, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you.
That was Ayla Ray. We got a chance to talk with her just right before the show today and this morning, and she is gearing up for that regional final along with her teammates tomorrow at 5 o'clock against North Canton Hoover at YSU Softball Complex. I love Chrissy Watts. Chocolate!
Yeah, and then of course we had Steve Ward's comment too. He's always of course present too anytime we have any of the Fitch softball girls on. And you see how close this team is, and one win away. And we were talking about it a little bit before we had a couple Louisville interviews, but this is a team we both got a chance to see, and they were bound and determined. But to just kind of sum up that game, it was Brecksville Broadview Heights that made some key mistakes, allowed a little bit of runs to score, and they were the key runs in the game by the end of it.
Talking about Ayla Ray in that game, you look at her spray chart, it probably mimics your spray chart all season. She hit her first single to left center opposite field on an inside pitch. She somehow stayed inside the ball and hit it opposite field to left center. The next time she gets up, she hits it right up the middle. It's caught by the pitcher for an out, hard ball out. The next at bat, she comes and hits it, pulls it to right center. And then the next at bat, she hits a double down the left field line. So she's going line to line almost. And this her ability to go with the pitch. And I said in the interview, her two-strike approach is better than almost every young softball player you see, because she understands with two strikes, the whole mentality. You got to shorten up, go with the pitch. That's why she's so hard to strike out. I think she's only struck out like maybe 3 times this season. 3.
And you got to look at her ability to like you said, with no matter what the count, just put the ball in play anywhere. She protects the plate so well. She could catch up with, you mentioned it, Sydney Watts too. She catches up with Sydney Watts in batting practice. The thing with Ayla Ray that's so dangerous is that her batting average sits just below 600, and this isn't like bunt single. She's not doing like the bunting and beating out infield singles. This is swinging the bat. This is swinging the bat, putting the ball in play, and finding holes in the outfield. She's doing this swinging the bat, which is really impressive.
But she can slap too. She can bunt single. She can slap the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
So that,
absolutely.
I was talking to a bunch of, because there were a lot of community people at that game on Tuesday. Fred Moots was there. There were a couple other local coaches there just trying to check it out because it was moved before any other regional games. And I was like, just trying to get into coach's mentality because I'm going to be a coach. So I was like, coaching wise, where would you pitch Ayla Ray? And Fred Moots goes, I wouldn't. That's just,
and he didn't. Fred Moots, I think, walked Ayla twice in the one matchup where I called it. I think they walked Ayla twice, and I think like Fred Moots was like cracking a joke with her at first or whatever, and it was funny though. But
it's the truth. Like there's not a lot of holes in her swing. I was trying to diagnose where I would pitch her in that broadcast while I was watching her. It was so good to see the at bats right behind home plate. To really get a feel on what the swing is like. I mean, there's not a lot of, there's no big gaping hole in her swing, especially with 2 strikes. And then you look at it and it's like, you'd really have to nitpick film to really try to find a place to attack.
It's got to be like a perfect placement too. Right. And that's the thing is that she has such good hand-eye coordination. She could bring the bat in, she can take it out. She protects plate to plate. Coast to coast so well, and she could go outside, she could go inside, high, low, and she knows her strike zone. She's very aware of it, and oftentimes too, what you see, she'll go from 0-2 to 3-2, and she'll fight her way back into counts and get ahead in a count.
She did that a lot against Wise, the pitcher for Brecksville Broadview Heights. We were told that they need to be called Brecksville Broadview Heights. There's no Broadview Heights, there's no Brecksville. It's got to be Brecksview Broadville Heights.
Respectively, we'll call you what you want to be called for sure.
I think it's because the 2 towns combined to make one school fairly recently, so they don't want to be called Brecksview because it used to be 2 schools, so they want to be called.
They want both towns recognized, and that's understandable. That's understandable.
It's all good.
That's all good. But no,
the bees.
Yeah,
you don't see a lot of bees.
You'll see like hornets or
yellow jackets,
yellow jackets.
No bees. Just straight up bees. I was intrigued.
The bees. They had some great talent, and they usually do on that team. And it was a great game overall. But again, congrats are in order, and we're looking forward to Fitch tomorrow, hopefully representing D1.
Here comes Hoover, and for a scouting report on Hoover, Cush, their pitcher, very, very, very good. Just like Wise. I mean, it's like every time you're gonna get a pitcher.
What do you expect at this point? Yeah,
Cooch is a very good pitcher. The same pitcher that beat them last year in the districts. So Fitch is gonna. They've seen her before. I think they even scrimmaged Hoover this year, so they've definitely seen Cooch before. It's not someone unfamiliar. I don't think they had seen Wise before. So I think familiarity is really gonna help Fitch's lineup against Cooch.
And we'll see what happens. It's going to be a pitcher's duel. And you know what? The most impressive thing too, we keep talking about Sydney Watts, but like I even said it after, and we mentioned Chrissy Watts in the comments. I was talking with Chrissy after the game. I don't understand how she is just so composed. Sydney is throughout the biggest moments of the season too. Like her composure, even when runners get on base, she gets better. And I don't know how she dials in and she kicks that amp to 11, and she becomes electric. Yeah, these amps go to 11, and she's able to get it there.
Full wattage.
Yeah, exactly. Maximum wattage when runners are on base, and it's tough. It's tough to get those bases clearing hits.
What impressed me, and I said this on the broadcast, I said on Twitter after the game. Obviously, I haven't seen all of Sydney Watts' games like you, but that was the best I'd seen her pitch overall this year in that regional semifinal. Her pitches were efficient. She wasn't getting behind a lot 3-0. There were just every attack mode, every batter, every count, every pitch was just an efficient pitch. She didn't waste any pitches. They moved really well. I think it was the best game that she pitched all season.
And her strikeout total now sits at 310 for the season.
You'll think I'm crazy because it wasn't a no-hitter. It wasn't a perfect game, which she's had this year. But I think with the quality of the lineup she was facing and the way I saw her pitches move and the as efficient as she was with her pitches, I did, in my opinion. Now I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen every game this year, but that was probably her best game this season, in my humble opinion.
She's pitching against college level talent, and she's a freshman, and she's succeeding and coming out on top against college level talent. Like Division One SEC college level talent right now.
I said All-American type speed because got a chance to go up and be an All-American. Her sister definitely was in Chelsea Mack. So
great game though, and I mean continuing to be impressive.
I had to introduce myself.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know you did. I know you did.
The softball fan in me was like fangirling a little bit, going, "Oh my god!"
But no, that was a great game. That was a great team. As now, big test for Fitch. We're all behind you here at the Ysn family as we look forward to the Falcons getting on their regional run. But we're also behind another team getting ready for a regional run too in the Louisville Leopards, and we got JT Popik, Defensive Player of the Year for Ysn as well, joining us today. JT, how we doing today? Oh, hold on, JT. We might have a little bit issue with this audio real quick. See if you might be muted. There we go. I got audio now. I think we're good.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I want to ask you about this season experience, but I also want to start off with just about last night. Where's your emotions at after last night's win and knowing you guys are going to regionals now?
Beyond excited. I mean, the expectations were high going into this season, and it just feels amazing to get that done. District was probably our main goal this season, and we got it done. So
take us through the celebration for this district championship and what it was like to have that moment, not just with your teammates, but have that moment at your home field and being able to put the Gatorade bath on Coach Warner and what it all kind of, what the emotions were feeling like last night.
The atmosphere was amazing, especially because it was a home game. I mean, my whole family was able to make it. Everyone's family was there. All my friends were there. And it was just awesome that, the whole town of Louisville got to experience our first district title in I don't even know how many years, but it was awesome.
If you could put into words the sound that town of Louisville made right around the baseball field after Sig's homer went over the fence, what can you say about that? What was the sound like of the town?
It was electric, for sure, electric. I mean, biggest part of the game, big swing of the game. It was amazing.
I want you to tell us about that catch that you made in the district semifinal too. I mean, highlight level, best catch we've seen all year probably. How does it feel to make that catch? What kind of goes through a catch like that? And you're not your first for sure. What goes through your mind when you're trying to make a play like that?
Before every pitch, I'm always telling myself, make a play. You got to be 100% at everything, especially in the position I'm in and being the shortstop and kind of the captain of the team. You got to go, give it your all at all times. And, when I saw that ball off the bat, I knew I had to make it, great effort for it. And I did. So.
We talk about the effort you have to put in for defense, and obviously being Defensive Player of the Year for Ysn, we recognize the work you put in there. But I also have to ask about the work you put into the swag game because you've gotten votes for the player with the most swagger on this team. So what goes into that and the choice of coming out and just having that it factor when you walk out?
Well, you got to look the part, in my opinion. And, that comes with, what you wear, how you carry yourself, how you move, and you just got to have that swag on the field.
A part of me wants to have like a MTV Crib style tour of your closet to just take some notes on the swag. Look good, feel good, play good, right? That's what we're saying. Mm-hmm. Talk about the Louisville community and what it was like to have them behind you and the support they give you and how much confidence it gives this team.
Mm-hmm. Knowing that the whole town wants us to do great, and even people from other school districts, people come out and want us to play good, and especially with a packed stadium like that, I mean, it's going to make us play better, and knowing that everyone there is got our back with everything. So
I'm just curious to ask, because I know how good the student support is and community support is for all sports. What is the most exciting sporting event at Louisville that you've been a part of that wasn't a sport you were participating in?
I would say our softball team won the Division I state title a couple years back when I was a freshman. That was insane. Everyone was there. It was one of the biggest moments of Louisville history, in my opinion.
And when you look at it this year, you're part of a Louisville athletic community that is so successful.
Mhm.
What's it like to be a part of a community, an athletics department, you could say, that you look around and you see, Maddie Benson wins Offensive Player of the Year. You got Defensive Player of the Year, the run that the girls basketball team went on, the run that the boys basketball team went on. What's it like to just kind of soak everything in as a student athlete and know that you're surrounded by so many high caliber athletes around the school?
Mhm. It's awesome. I mean, they're saying that this is probably one of the best years of Louisville sports history. And it's awesome to be a part of that because I've been playing with these kids and growing up with these kids since I was in middle school. So it was awesome to see everyone develop as, a player and see kids from being not so good to being, one of the best on the team and how everything came together. So,
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. One Louisville athlete that you'd want an autograph of. Who's like the person you need an autograph from?
everyone says Tyler Adams, and I'd have to agree on that. Tyler Adams.
Would you say that was one of the role models coming into this, or would you say there's some other role models, or who took you under their wing when you came in as a freshman? You mentioned that freshman year. What were some of them?
I would say Davis Burek. Davis Burek, he was a big name when I came in to the program, and I always looked up to Davis and watched what he did. And COVID season, I was gonna play second with him. We were gonna play up the middle, and then COVID happened. We never got to play together, but I always wanted to play with Davis.
We'll flip that question on you. Well, who are some underclassmen that you've kind of taken under your wing and you have taken pride in their journey and how much they're going to be successful in their future?
I got my eyes on Cooper Rice. Cooper Rice, he's a freshman right now, and from the moment I saw him in the winter, I can tell that he's going to be a real good player. He's got a great swing, the way he moves. I mean, I can just tell. So I've been getting real close with Coop.
Looking overall at the team success that you guys have had and the run that Louisville has been on, I know you mentioned some role models and you mentioned some guys that you're mentoring. But what are some of the biggest things you've seen growth wise in yourself over the course of your career from freshman year until now?
The biggest thing would be strength. When I was a freshman, I was super scrawny, didn't have much power, could barely hit the ball out of the infield. And, as my body matured and I got into the weight room, I'm hitting doubles in the gap. My exit velo went through the roof. I'm throwing the ball deep in the 6-hole. And strength has completely changed my game. And really just working on my game, hitting, consistency. You got to put the work in. You can't expect to, be lazy all winter long and then come out and, in the fall and or in the spring and, play real good. You got to put the time in, especially with baseball. It's not an easy sport. So
This team is such a strong unit. The chemistry is so high. So I'm going to put you on the spot, and because I know a lot of people probably have this attitude, but what is the one teammate that kind of has the best teammate attitude, selfless attitude? No matter what the situation is, they're a great teammate. If you had to give like the best teammate award for someone on your team, who do you think would win it?
I would say Charlie Roberts. Charlie Roberts for sure. He's probably the most unselfish player I've ever played with.
Let's talk about some endorsement deals, right? If you're getting endorsed by Davis Sunflower Seeds and some Gatorade, or we could just go your favorite dugout snack and sports drink. What's the go-to snack and drink combination for the Defensive Player of the Year?
We'll get a Reign energy drink and a Gatorade bar before every single game. That's superstition.
What the Gatorade? What Reign flavor?
Rainbow sherbet.
That has never been answered before. That's awesome. I like that.
We gotta ask though, and if Rain's going to make that flavor, what is it then?
Yeah, like what if they came to JT and said, "What is your flavor gonna want to be?" What flavor would you tell them they have to make?
Ooh, I'd probably give them like a lime, like a lemon lime.
I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that.
Yeah.
You talked about superstitions. Do you have any other superstitions as far as a baseball player that you have to stick to?
My on deck routine is the same time. It is the same thing every time. and I throw with the same ball in warm-ups every single day.
What about the glove? We know, especially up the middle, those middle infielders have special relationships with their glove. What's that relationship like?
No one's allowed to touch my glove. No one's allowed to put their hand in my glove. Never leave her in the car overnight. Always got to bring her inside. And yeah, it's pretty much it.
Now, you called it her, so I got to ask, does the glove have a name?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have a name.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give her a name live on the show. Like, what's her name going to be from now on?
I'll call her Becky.
Okay, I was about to say, you can't say Betsy because Anthony already took it. But
did
Becky
he?
will accept. Becky will
Okay.
accept.
Yeah.
How long have you had that glove?
I got it when I was a sophomore, but I didn't use it much because of the COVID year. So I've just been using it the past 2 years.
All right, we're going to have some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit more off the field. And I'm going to start with, if you could go forward in time or back in time, which way would you want to go?
Forward.
What era would you want to go to?
When I'm 35.
All right. If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would you want to have dinner with?
Derek Jeter.
Is he your favorite professional athlete?
Of all time, probably, but currently, it would probably be Javier Baez.
When you look at things that you do outside of sports, what are some of your favorite hobbies that you have?
Hunting. I'm super big into hunting. And I also do 4-H, so I show cattle and stuff like that.
In your hunting career, what's your proudest kill?
This past fall, I killed the biggest buck of my life. It was 11 point.
What's the go-to hunting spot for you?
I say on my farm, right by my house.
Do you have a good deer call?
I don't call too much. I usually just sit there.
What's your favorite thing to hunt?
Probably turkeys, actually. Wild turkeys.
Do you eat the meat that you get? I mean, do you like the turkey jerky?
Yeah. It's a little gamey, but you just gotta cook it right.
What's your favorite meat?
Probably beef.
I feel like we're offending a lot of vegetarians right now. What are you, a movie or a book guy?
Movie.
What was the last movie that you saw in the theaters?
The theaters? Batman.
What fictional death in a movie hit you the hardest?
Have you ever seen Spirit? It was a Disney movie.
Yeah, with the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Disney's always pulling at those heartstrings.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll go right there. Who's your favorite Disney character?
You know the show Jessie?
Yeah.
Probably Cameron Boyce's character.
All right. If Disney came to you and said you're going to go to the park, but you have to put on a one of the mascots to do it, like one of the characters, what character would you tell them that you have to be for the day?
I don't know. Probably him. I'd say.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
All time.
All time. You watch Bad Boys too?
All right.
Bad
What
Boys
about
2 is
like baseball movies? Like, is there a go-to baseball movie out there for you?
Benchwarmers is always a go-to. For sure. 42 was a great movie also.
If they were going to make a movie about your life, what actor would you want to play you?
I don't know too many actors, but yeah, I don't know that one.
I'm getting like a Brad Pitt vibe, man.
Okay. All
right. What is one thing that you know now that you wish you knew earlier in life?
how important strength was, because I developed really late as a baseball player. Like I would have liked to be a lot stronger when I was younger.
All right, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that are there for you all the time.
Thank you to my mom. She's the biggest supporter and, has my back through it all. My grandma and my sister. Those are my three biggest. So, yeah.
All right, JT, the man with the most swag on the team. Thanks for joining us today. And we look forward to covering your next game. And we wish you the best of luck. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
JT Popik joining us on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. What a great interview. And man, I can tell he's just dripping with that swagger, that like, he probably walks with attitude. I could just like, he's one of those guys that like, he's probably wearing the aviators. He's cool, so cool. You just want to smack it off of him.
Is that what it is?
Because you don't have it, and they do.
Shortstop swag. I like
shortstop swag.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I mean, and that fits perfectly because it's SS too. You abbreviate that shortstop swag. What is it? It's SS. It's exactly what it is. So, no, JT Popik, and I mean, you were showing me that play too, and I mean, it was all over the socials for Louisville. What a defensive grab that was.
What I love, since DJ just commented, I love that the crowd highlights, you could hear his call because he was so excited about it in the background. Like DJ went nuts, so it was a big play.
There was a lot of people going nuts when this man was at the plate yesterday too. In that first inning, it was quite the show, is what I'm hearing. Carson Siegfried, the man, the myth, the legend himself, too, from Louisville, joining us now here at 1:30. How we doing today, man?
Doing great. Thank you, guys.
I mean, I feel like, and we have to jump right into this question about what was the feeling, too, just hitting that one out and knowing that you guys were up early on the Dukes?
It was a great feeling. It was butterflies. It was insane. Very exciting.
All right, we have already a question from the comments from DJ Yoakley, who called your game last night and the game against Salem. What would be your call sign if you were a pilot in light of Top Gun 2 coming out?
Shoot, probably. Oh my. I don't know. Probably like. Oh shoot. It's a tough one. I don't know. Goose has always been my favorite. I always loved Goose. Hate to see him, but
DJ has to get right back into it too. He called the bomb too. Were you looking curveball on that bomb, and did you know if it has landed yet?
Yes, I was looking curveball. Yeah, JT Popik, one of my teammates, told me earlier. He hit before him. He said, "Look out for that curveball. He's coming first pitch every time."
And when you hit it too, I mean, obviously it was enough runs to secure that game. But who was the face you were looking for most when you were rounding third and you saw that pylon waiting at home plate? Whose face were you looking for to see the reaction?
Oh, I was looking for Charlie Roberts. He's one of my he's actually one of my neighbors, but I grew up playing baseball with him, and he was on base. And rounding third, seeing him waiting for me at home, it was a great feeling.
And knowing at the end of the game that those two runs were all that the team needed, and knowing that your hit was the game-winning hit by de facto, what did that feel like to go through the celebration, knowing that you happened to be that guy that particular night that kind of gave the team enough runs to win?
It's an awesome feeling. It's definitely, I think, the top baseball moment in my life, and I'm just really happy that our defense was able to shut it out and leave a 0 on the board.
What can you say about the culture of Louisville baseball too, and what Coach Warner has built there with the Leopards?
Oh, it's great. We all play for each other, and it's like a family. Every game we get closer and closer, and every game, everyone just gets more and more fun.
In his post-game speech to you guys, one of the things that he said that really stuck out was that all of you guys are the guy. No matter what night it is, everyone is the guy. Everyone contributes to the team, and that can be tough for some teams to really buy into. I have a lot of people say it, but a lot of teams have a tough time buying into it. How good has this team been at buying into that mindset and knowing that any night anyone could be the guy?
Oh, it's great. Everybody's always in the game. Everybody's looking to, make the next play. Everybody's looking to pick up the slack, and everybody's looking out for each other, and it's great.
We had a chance to talk with Coach Warner a little bit earlier in the show, and he was mentioning the regional semifinal. How much of an advantage do you think it's going to be having that regional final be 15 minutes down the road from this Louisville community?
Oh, it's great. I'm hoping we can get a good amount of support. It's always fun playing with the crowd, and I'm just happy it's somewhere close where people can show out and support.
You got to play this district at the home stadium. I mean, tell us how big of an advantage that was. I mean, we talked about it all week, what kind of advantage that would be for you guys. From your perspective, how much of a difference did it make playing those games at your home field?
Oh, it was incredible. We had our crowd, our people, all my friends and classmates with their support, and just being in a familiar place, it's really comfortable.
Have you ever heard a crowd reaction as loud as the one for your home run last night?
No, and it was awesome. I couldn't have asked for anything more. It was so exciting.
You talked about Coach Warner a little bit. Talk a little bit more about what he brings to this team and how much he's taught you, not just as a baseball player, but as a life lessons too.
Oh, he's taught us so much about, always keeping your head up, looking to be that guy. The next play could always be you. And he's really taught us a lot about fighting and the importance of playing till the last out.
You look at that too, and you talk about some of the younger players on this team, and there's a lot of them. Do you think the younger players on this team are coming in with a chip on their shoulder? And what from your perspective can you say about the younger talent on the Leopards?
Oh yeah, the future will be bright, and I think these younger teams looking to follow in the footsteps is always, especially for me, looking at the past players. I've always wanted to be that guy, and I want to be able to do something great.
Who was one of the past players that you just brought up that you looked up to when you were coming through this program?
Actually, quite a while ago, when I was in elementary school, my dad used to be the ball coach, and some of the seniors, such as like Dalton Deckard and I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll remember their names, but just looking up to them and wanting to be those guys on the field is really put a big motivating factor in my baseball path.
DJ saying they say you barely feel the ball when you hit the bat on a good swing. What was that? Was that true for you last night?
Oh yeah, that was true. It felt real hot off the bat last night, and I felt as soon as I hit it, I felt that good pop, and I had a good feeling about it.
I mean, you talked about the past players too. What's some of the best advice that you've received from a player on this team, other than of course JT saying, "Look, curveball."
Oh, it's just looking to. I mean, against we were playing Highland the other day, and really rough start. I had 2 strikeouts. Was not a very good game at all, and both. Coach Huckles and Coach Whitlatch, they both came up to me and said that you're a good hitter and we have full faith in you. And in that next at bat, I actually ended up with a double and then followed it with another home run. And it was a very good thing to know that, like, if you're having a bad game, the next at bat can totally change. It changes fast.
That regional semifinal for you guys won't be until Thursday, June 2nd. So you got a week to kind of decompress. Do you relish the week off, or do you wish that this regional semifinal was like today?
I like the break. The break's nice to decompress for a little bit. Today we're relaxing, and then tomorrow we'll be right back at it. And then I'm excited though. I'm waiting for it.
When do you think the anticipation is going to start to build? Where are the levels at right now for you?
Oh, well, today I'm just kind of relaxing, but I think soon as next week starts, I'm going to be thinking about it all week. That's the only thing that'll be on my mind. I'm excited.
Did you sleep last night? I think that's a big question. Like, were you able to put your head down and sleep after all that adrenaline was coursing through your veins?
Well, we actually, the whole team, we hung out for quite a while. So it was pretty late, but I was able to sleep well, actually.
Carson, we've been asking your teammates this too, and they all have superstitions on like food and drink habits for it too. So you might as well. But I got to ask, what is the go-to dugout snack or seed and Gatorade or sports drink combination for Carson Siegfried that hits tanks, if you will?
I think it's got to be the lemon lime Gatorade mixed with somebody always brings like one of those like real big bags of Sour Patch Kids. I always run off of those. Whenever I'm in the dugout, I'm snacking. I always like seeds too. Some dill pickle seeds or the Taki seeds I like are really good too.
What that's during the game. What about post game meals? What do you like to put in your body after a big win?
Oh, after a big win, I don't know. I always like a good some tacos, quesadilla. I love Mexican food.
Me and Ty don't get to spend a whole lot of time in Louisville. We've definitely been there before, but what's the biggest hangout for Louisville baseball and the athletic community down there?
Coming down to actually back at my house after like big wins like tonight, we were always back at my house and we're swimming, we're playing basketball, we're hanging out for hours.
So it's all back to the Siegfrieds for a hangout.
That's right.
What is your favorite thing to eat at a barbecue?
Oh shoot, probably just I love me a burger, bacon burger. It's my favorite thing.
I guess who makes the best burgers as far as a restaurant or fast food? We'll go with fast food first. Who has the best burgers in fast food?
I'm always a big Wendy's Baconator guy. That's been my go-to for forever now. I love a Wendy's Baconator.
As soon as you said bacon, I thought you might lean towards Wendy's. But what about like actual restaurants? You go sit down, burger place.
I think Red Robin. Red Robin makes a really good. I forget the name of the burger, but it's probably one of my top burgers of all time.
And you can't have burgers without fries. So we'll go from burgers to fries. Who has the best fries in the fast food industry?
It's real close. I think between either Wendy's or Chick-fil-A. They both make very good fries.
And is there any like restaurant that like the fries are just you got to go there for the fries?
Oh, I love Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse fries, or there's something else.
I think they're overshadowed by the rolls.
Yeah.
What is one vacation spot that your family goes that you really like going to?
We always go to Litchfield Beach. It's just down by Myrtle, and it's always we're down South Carolina, and it's fun. Sometimes we can catch baseball games. There's a park down there, Shipyard Park, and it's like on the Charleston River. It's a really cool place. There's all these fields, and you can hit a home run. It goes over the fence and into the river. It's an awesome atmosphere, and it's always fun to visit.
Outside of your home park, what's the best baseball field you've ever played on?
I'd have to say probably we played at Hudson this past year on their high school field, and it's probably one of the nicer fields that I've played on for sure.
You have a very competitive family. Who's the most competitive in the Siegfried household?
Oh, it's definitely my dad for sure. He's played good baseball growing up, and he's always talked about some of his summer seasons that were just incredible.
When it's family game night, does he usually get the dub?
Yeah, for sure.
What's he best at?
Usually play a lot of card game called Wizard, or we'll play Rummy Cube, which is another fun game. I'm really good at.
Do you ever like kind of poke fun at him, but your baseball career being as successful as you are, and like, hey, Dad, you ever hit a game-winning home run in a district championship game? I don't know.
No, but he sure has. I mean, some of the stories he's talked about, it's something that I've always wanted to replicate something like that. So
you grow up with sports in your life. What's the biggest like childhood memory of watching a sport event or being at a sport event that made you want to be an athlete?
Shoot, I think probably I remember quite a few years ago, one of the Louisville basketball games against Lake. Jake Pukic had a real big time buzzer beater to win the game, and just the energy in there was insane. It was very exciting.
We know this is one of the best years for Louisville athletics as a whole. You have a very successful athletics department right now. Pick one current Louisville athlete that you have to have an autograph for, and give him a shout out.
I had to say probably Will Adjancic. The way that guy plays basketball, it's really fun to watch.
He's a sharpshooter for sure. And then as far as your team goes, who is the best dancer on the team?
Best dancer probably have to go to Anthony Warner. He brings the moves in the dugout.
Who's the funniest player on the team?
Funniest player, I'd say probably Caleb Harsh. He's funny.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance to poke some fun at somebody because who thinks they're funny, but their jokes to never land?
I would have to say probably. I'm gonna say, shoot. I'm not gonna lie. Caleb's pretty hit or miss. He's funny majority of the time, but I'm gonna have to say a few times some of them are kind of misses.
What teammate would you trust the most to be a getaway driver?
I'd have to say probably JT. I think he's a pretty good wheelman.
And who would you put in a karaoke night if someone had to win at karaoke?
Oh, Connor Adelman for sure. He's in our school theater play. He's got that voice.
All right, I want to give you the chance to take some time to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you very much to my coaches and teammates for supporting me and the fans of Louisville. It's really fun it's a great atmosphere, and I love Louisville.
All right, Carson, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win last night. Good luck the next round. We'll be there. Thanks for letting us come on the ride, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you very much.
That was Carson Siegfried of Louisville Baseball and the district champion Louisville Baseball team that is moving on to the regional semifinals next Thursday in Thurman Munson Field in Canton. They'll be playing University School, not University College, University School in the regional semifinals next Thursday.
Yeah, and it should be a fun one too. We're rooting for you, Leopards. Let's bring it home.
A lot of action going on at Thurman Munson Field in the next couple of, I guess, weeks, days. I'll go days. Today at 2:00, DJ Oakley's already down there. He'll be calling the Boardman District Championship game. So right after us, you can pop on, maybe split your screen, have Casual Sports Podcast going, and then have DJ Oakley's call of Boardman's District Championship going as well.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it all starts at 2:00, and then it gets you the other two games going on at 5:00 tonight too. So you get all of those games tonight too. So you get this one, and then the two games at 5:00 to follow.
All right, Ty, before we preview what's going on tonight, I do want to quickly recap what happened last night, since we really didn't get to last night's recaps too much. Softball action, we saw one more team advance to the regional finals of a possible 4. Unfortunately, Canfield and South Range, their seasons came to an end with losses to Triway and Maslin Tuslaw. Triway, we said they're one of the best teams in the state. It was going to be an uphill battle. Canfield actually, after an initial punch from Triway that got them up 6-0 early, the rest of the way, Melina Toth pitched really well. I think second and third time through the lineup, she made some really good adjustments and kept this really good Triway offense down. Gave offense a couple of chances. There was a opportunity where Koenig hit a home run to lead off the inning. Koenig, hit a home run to lead off the 6th. And then later in that inning, they put runners on first and third with 2 outs. So they had their chances to get a couple big hits, put some pressure on Triway. But, man, the Titans pitching staff, it's for real. Their offense got them enough runs early. First time seeing Toth. And Triway's legit. They might win a state championship.
We'll see what Toth will be able to adjust with. Only a sophomore, and she has a bright future ahead of her, no doubt.
I want to congratulate the seniors of Canfield for having a great season, but there are not a lot of seniors on that team. They are returning a lot of players. And the same story for South Range, as they lost to Tuslaw 6-1. And it was one of those games that can happen in regionals. They put runners on, they kept getting opportunities to score, and that timely hit just eluded them all night. They couldn't get that one big hit to score runs. They had the bases loaded with 1 out and 1 time in the game. They had a couple of innings in a row where they put runners in scoring position. Just could not get that one timely hit that you need to win a regional game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, I mean, those are the hits that make and break seasons too when you get to this level of softball play, because everyone's kind of pretty even as far as competition levels are concerned. So when you miss out on those key moments of the game, sometimes you only get 1, sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get none. But in this case, you have a couple of them, you have to take advantage of them. And it was just a case where Tuslaw just got the better of it.
Suzanne pitched really well. She kept the team in the game the whole time. I mean, it was 6-1 because they hit a bottom of the 6th inning 2-run. It was a 3-run home run late in that game to make it 6-2. Other than that, Sam Suzanne pitched a really good game and kept the Raiders in it the whole way. Unfortunately, they fell. Ursuline did advance. They win 6-2 over Salem Northwestern. 2 home runs from Ava Fedor and Mia Pollock led that offense, and they get the win.
I think we're getting an update about Boardman baseball here from the boss man himself, DJ Yoakley, joining us in on
From
running.
Thurman Munson, how we doing?
I'm doing well, guys. I'm doing well. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So there's been talk of pushing the game back a little bit. It rained a little bit, but here in the brand new and renovated Thurman Munson Stadium, it's all turf. So there's not a whole lot of pushback that they can do. They were talking about a half hour. I don't know. There's some fans in here right now trickling in, but we're expecting a big crowd from Boardman. I'm excited. I am there. Like, if you have never been or haven't been in a long time to Thurman Munson Stadium, you need to come out. And obviously that's where the Louisville Leopards are going to play. So I'll be back out here, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
I've spent my life in Canton the last 4 days. I feel like I'm a stranger in Columbiana County anymore, but it's been good baseball. Excited. And obviously you guys have done a fantastic job, of covering up the softball and tied good job last night with baseball. Can I just say and pat ourselves on the back a little bit with the coverage that we've had the last week or so with baseball and softball? I think you can safely say that you can't get anywhere the coverage that you're getting on YSN. Is that safe to say?
No,
absolutely.
Live games that you're getting almost daily of softball and baseball playoffs. I mean, and the biggest games, teams still alive. I mean, we're running deep in this thing this year.
I love the fact that everybody's just kind of it's a team here, and just like these championship caliber teams we cover, everybody's stepping up to the plate and hitting dingers. Because you look at these interviews, we're getting Chris Colucci knocked a couple out of the park last night. Our guys over in Louisville, it took care of us. They said, "Hey, you mind if we get some interviews?" I said, "Absolutely not." So that's the best thing is seeing the expression on these kids' faces. They work so hard all year, and baseball and softball are interesting sports because you can get closer to them in the dugout and things of that nature for us than we can. Very rarely are we on the sidelines because we don't have the manpower. But you look at what we've been doing, and obviously these interviews have been phenomenal all the way around, and you guys have been killing it with the long formats. So congratulations on all the success. I'm just so proud. I'm like a proud dad. Watching you guys, your show every day and watching what this is turning into and the support that we're getting from all these communities, specifically Louisville, man, they couldn't be happier for what they're getting for YSN. And a lot of that goes to the athletic director, Terry Horn, and guys that got us in like Robbie Roberts and that crew. So big thanks to them. And how many Louisville interviews did you get? It was like the Louisville show today.
Four. Coach and 3 players. So
nice job, boys. Nice job.
Shout out to Anthony Romo. He did the girls' lacrosse game at Canfield on his way home. No one asked him to on his own. Just decided to stop at Scene Park and grab a couple of Ursuline interviews after that game.
He texted me, he came up to me, it was just like, mind if I grab interviews? I said, go for it. And he got a string of them too. He got a string of them. And I mean, he stepped up huge too. And I mean, I think you could go check those out on that on the article written. I think he got Brady Shannon, he got Casey, he got Coach, he got all the big names for him. So
and they're not fluff. I mean, that's the thing that I'm most proud of. It's not like what's your favorite color, stuff like that. It's how did you did well on the mound tonight. You saw the ball well tonight from the box. Walk us through that. And these are questions that most people don't understand. The majority of us here at YSN aren't necessarily sportscasters. We're just people that love sports. And that's what makes it so interesting for me is to see not only our coverage grow, but our announcers grow into that coverage and get deeper with questions and things of that. So couldn't be happier. I mean, I'm tickled pink about everything that's happening right now. And I got to be honest with you. When I saw that the game got moved to 2:00 today, I was so amped up. I love 2:00 baseball and softball games. Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, you could catch that game right immediately following Running Point too. $9.99 get you access to that, and then we have 2 other games too coming up tonight at 5:00 too. So take advantage of this, guys.
There's a lot of games going on today, tomorrow. Who's got Ty? Do you have the Fitch game?
Ty's got Fitch. I'll be in Ravenna for Ursuline. So
okay, so we'll make sure we got everybody covered. As far as I know everybody's either won a championship or fighting for a championship today or tomorrow. So next week's going to be interesting. But it's that weird time of year where you're so happy for some teams and so devastated for others because they bow out, and some of these seniors you'll never see in uniform again. And it's a challenge, and it's a balance, and you feel for them both ways.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I was talking to Ann. I asked too. Does it get easier with these senior seasons as you get older? And it doesn't. It doesn't seem like it's getting any easier.
And that's the trouble, man. Like you get connected, right? You get connected, and I think especially when you start freshman. So fast forward 4 years when Sydney Watts is a senior, 3 years when Sydney Watts is a senior, and her season's over. It takes a piece of you. It takes the heart rate out of you. We had that with Jake Gehring at South Range. We have so many seniors nowadays because they have been integral parts of building and helping build what we're trying to do. And I feel like we've been integral parts of their growth as well, is getting some light shined on their games. So it's if there's anything that is very challenging and like from a human standpoint, human element, it's that. It's watching these seniors. Marlington lost last night. Marlington's not a team that we have on YSN yet, but you could feel how much disappointment and frustration when they were getting the runner-up trophy in their district. As happy as I was for Louisville, I was just as devastated for those seniors at Marlington who had such high hopes. And you remember being in those shoes, and that's why it's so tough. But somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and we're just blessed to be able to. I told somebody the other day, it's weird because we feel like we have 55 kids here. You know what I mean? And again, you're so happy for your kids that succeed, but the ones that don't, you don't want to just necessarily keep them in the lurch. So we get a lot of crap for the coverage this time of year for covering the teams that are winning, but there's nobody else to cover. You know what I mean? We got to cover who's still playing and the reason why they're playing. So you guys did a phenomenal job of shining that light today, and just keep up the good work. I want to pop in and say hi.
Yeah, will do. And look forward to DJ at Thurman Munson Stadium immediately following.
Let's go Spartans.
Foreman just taking the field. Go Spartans. Daggone right. See you, boys.
This is Sparta.
DJ is previewing. That's going to be the game too. We got North Canton Hoover and Boardman coming up just now, and then we also have some games to follow tonight too. 2 5:00 starts, I believe, and for D4 baseball.
We sure do. Jackson Milton will be taking on.
I believe
Milton will be taking on Bristol at Fairport Harding. Warren JFK will be taking on Lake Center Christian at Scene Park. Pat Santer will be at Fairport Harding for that game with Jackson Milton in the district championship. 7-seeded Bristol, so this isn't like Jackson Milton going up against a 1 seed. They beat 3-seeded Mineral Ridge to get there, and because everyone else kind of went into the other bracket, this one's kind of wide open. Jackson Milton has a legitimate chance to win a district championship. Warren JFK versus Lake Center Christian. It will be Eric Hughes and Don O'Brien both on the call for that one at Scene.
And don't forget too, if you don't want to take advantage of the $9.99, we completely get it. 2:00 start time. Oakland versus YSU at Wright State for the Horizon League tournament. That's a 2 p.m. start time. Richie's got you covered. That I believe is free of charge.
Yep. And if they win, they'll play again. Or if they'll have an opportunity. If YSU loses, excuse me,
they'll have
if they lose at 2, they'll play again at 6. Other free baseball, we do have 14U Class B baseball on Scene 3 at 5:30. Noah Ricks will be on the call there. So we'll have all of that coming up tonight.
Yep. So some free baseball tonight for you. And if you want to take advantage of the tournament action, $9.99 gets you access to 3 baseball games. 1 starting at 2 p.m., 2 at 5 p.m. all on the network.
Before we get out of here, I want to preview tomorrow's show. I'm very excited to announce that tomorrow we'll take a little bit of a detour out of baseball and softball to talk to Naj Bohannon from Youngstown State basketball, played 4 years with the Penguins, finished his 5th year at Clemson. He signed on for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he'll be talking to us tomorrow about his time at Youngstown, how much he appreciates the career he had at the Penguins, but he'll also be talking to us about achieving this kind of goal and how this kind of came about, because he wasn't a football player in college, but he's a football player now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're going to be talking to him tomorrow, and a couple of other winners from tonight. We'll definitely have them on the show. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow on Running Point to close out the week.
Yep, for sure. Take advantage of baseball tonight, folks, and catch us tomorrow from 12 to 2.
22-hour break for me and Ty. Until tomorrow, we'll see you all. Have a wonderful